So today I want to talk to you about Over Running Festival. It's a 24-hour ultramarathon in 5k loops, so as many as you can in 24 hours. And today I'm going to be running the loop, so you can actually see what the course looks like. Hopefully convince you to sign up. So yeah, let's get started. Welcome back to consecutive day 1839 of the Diary of a Runpreneur, and today's topic is all about the Over Running Festival, the 24-hour ultramarathon in 5k loops here in the beautiful Over in Cambridgeshire. So I'm going to be running the route today, but before we get started, please don't forget that this is part of a fundraiser of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, a distance of a lap of the world. And the more people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save. So as you can see, if you look around, you can see this is Over Community Centre, and this is where the 5k loop starts. So my video editor will kindly show the camera pointing forward so you can see what it looks like to run, and I'll kind of commentate what you need to kind of know when you're doing this route, because it is a little bit through the village. So yeah, let's get started. So you start with a lap of the Over Community Centre rec. So as you can see, it's quite a community-based event. So there's people out running around. There's also kids here, and there's a bar and refreshment facilities and everything here. There's showers, and there's a really good kind of couple of areas where you can store all your possessions. So when you're doing a 24-hour ultramarathon, it's over 24 hours. It's really important to have the facilities right. There's showers, multiple toilets, a bar for food and drink. So there's microwave, a kitchenette. So it's really well set up for an ultramarathon. So you start with a lap of the rec. Load of the local kids kicking footballs about. It's a 360-degree action camera, mate. I'm filming a running route. Yes, I'm on YouTube. Yeah, Runpreneur. That's the local kids. So sorry about that. It's a little bit ad hoc. You'll get a lot of this during this lap today. So yeah, the first part is around this recreation ground, and then we head out into the village of Over. So I'm not going to talk for the whole lot, because this is I've done 25 kilometers already of my 50 for this event. I'm only going to do 50, which gets me ultramarathon level. Some people will be doing a lot more than that. Some people do a lot less than that, which is absolutely fine. The idea of the event was it's supposed to be all inclusive, and it must be one of the most accessible ways to get an ultra marathon under your belt, which is 5k loops, a 50k in over 24 hours. It's very achievable. You can even walk it if you like. You've got plenty of time to kind of do it. So we come around here as I'm on the last stretch of the lap of the rec, and then we head out into Over. So, and you'll see there's lots of people here kind of mulling around, having drinks. It's a lovely day today. Well, it's been really hot, too hot for today's event. It's been close to 30 degrees, which is not what you want during an ultra marathon, and blistering sun. So lots of kids, lots of people drinking beers and pints, lots of people waving. When do we wave? And lots of kids and stuff as well, which is cool. So it's a very family friendly kind of location. So as I go through, give us a wave. Woo! I'm filming the route for next year, as you can see. So we've got the health professionals here as well, and here's my family waiting for me. So it's my daughter Maya and my son James. I'll just give Jim a high five, Kira a high five, and then my daughter a little high five, and my son who's done 5k with me. Mwah, mwah. See you later. So really nice to have people come and support. That's what it's all about. So when you come out of the community centre, the key thing are there are a few road crossings. So the first one is here. You're going to cross immediately. It's a very quiet road to get you on the right side of the road, because we're going to turn right at the end. There's another runner coming. There's my family. There's another runner coming back in. So it's a loop based course. So as we come out here, you always want to try and remember to be on the right side of the road. So this is why I'm doing this for this episode, so you can see what the route is like. It's predominantly pavement most of the way, so as we turn around here, we're on this side of the road. So when we get out here, we're going to look to cross when it's suitable. Okay, so this is the quieter part of the village, so look both ways obviously, and then you're crossing over to the left hand side, and then you're not going to cross again for a while now. So we try and minimise the number of road crossings. On busy events, there'll be plenty of marshals around when we get higher volume of runners, to ensure everybody's safety, because that's of optimal importance, I should say. So as it's very much barbecue weather, lots of people. We're going to be doing this on Father's Day weekend, so usually the Friday before Father's Day on the Sunday. So it's the 24-hour, it's Friday midday and finishes on the Saturday at midday. And when there's also a 5k and a 10k run, for 10k there'll be an age limitation based on it being out running through the village, but there's an all-inclusive 5k which is multiple laps of the recreation ground in the community centre grounds, so it's safe and accessible for all ages. But yeah, so if we come up here, this is the bit that's usually a dangerous corner, so you stay on the pavement here and you actually run through the churchyard to avoid any form of running on the road. So if you stay on the left hand side of the pavement, you run around here, as you can see ahead, the pavement kind of disappears, so we turn left through the church to avoid any running on the road. This will be signposted on the actual race day. It's quite nice to run through the church. It's quite a nice little setting, running through the kind of church grounds, which are beautiful. So you'll notice I'll be a little bit quiet at times as I'm just trying to protect my cardiovascular levels and ensure that I don't overexert myself, as I'm just over halfway, and it's been tough conditions today with the heat, so I'm very mindful of taking it easy. So you come around here and you stay on the left hand side of the road, you join the pavement again, and then you take a left down Overcoat Road. So take a left down Overcoat Road, the pavement on this side. As we get down here, this is quite a quiet road, so as we get down here we keep on until the pavement runs out, and then when suitable we'll cross over to the right hand side of the road. This is one of the kind of quiet country roads, so you stay on the right hand side on the pavement for as long as you can, and then there's a small area where you're running on the road. This is a road that's run a lot, so it's quite a useful runner's route, so there's not a lot of traffic, but you do have to be mindful that you get the odd kind of agricultural vehicle and stuff coming down here. So as you can see, the pavement carries on for a little bit if you stay on the right hand side. The rule of thumb is when you're running on the road as well, you always want to stay on the right hand side, so that oncoming traffic can see you very clearly. It's really important you kind of do that and be mindful of blind corners, but there isn't really any blind corners on this course that you're going to have to contend with. It is blisteringly hot today. Not always going to be hot, kind of middle of June, but it's likely, so sunscreen is advisable. As I get around here, there's also midge season as well, so you'll probably see as I get around here, I'll get covered in midges more and more progressively, so just be mindful of that. And also, if you struggle with hay fever, there's a lot of pollen this time of year, and we're running through kind of countryside conditions, so I advise you take an antihistamine or whatever hay fever medication you take to keep it under control. Bizarrely, I generally find when I'm running, even though I'm a hay fever sufferer, when I'm running it doesn't seem to affect me, but when so as you can see there's a couple of cars, but not anything too manic to contend with, and we're going to turn off this road very shortly and onto more kind of farmland based roads. So here we turn into this farm. Here you can see there's an arrow here pointing this way, and the gates are always open for us when we're running. They're normally closed otherwise, so this is private land, but we've got permission to run through here, and you can see beautiful cows that we're passing here, which is always nice to see. It's quite a diverse route. You get a little bit of village life, and then you're out into the countryside, and then a little bit more village life to finish off. But when we expect, as numbers grow at the event, it will be really well supported throughout the village, and also at the start and finish line, which is always nice to have. So this is kind of country road, very few vehicles down here at all, so you can pretty much run in the middle of the road down here. It's a long straight road. There is a cracked, and there's a lot of trip hazards, so you always have to be mindful of where your feet are landing. Last thing you want is to turn the ankles on these type of events. So as we say, you can see straight ahead of me, there's a lot of dog walkers down here, and we might see other runners depending on how slow I'm going. I might not catch anyone, so we might not see many runners. But for the first event, we've had about 30 odd runners for the ultra. We expect to kind of at least double for next year, once this was all about testing the viability of the event this year. And I'm doing this video today so you can see what the course is like before deciding on whether you want to sign up for next year's event. But yeah, it's been really well received. The route has been praised a lot. There's a nice few points where people stand on the roads and give support, and it's quite diverse. When you're doing laps, the last thing you want is a boring route. It's a loop, and there's a lot of variation within the loop, so that's always good. It's beautiful going across the fields when you can see the fields like that. When the sun's been out, it's a blessing that it's gone behind the cloud, because it has been horrendously hot, but the sun shimmering across the fields is pretty beautiful, and it's quite scenic as well. It might be flat around Cambridgeshire, but there are elements of it that are quite attractive to kind of see, which is pretty cool. I'm going to be quiet for a little bit now. So I'm coming up, not far off being halfway around the loop now. Once I get to the end here and turn back into the village, that will be about half of the 5k loop that I will have done. You have to be mindful of dogs and dog walkers, but yeah, it's a very widely used dog walking route, but most dog owners are very responsible. When they see runners and people coming past, they will ensure that the dogs don't. Although this one is not on a lead and it's quite a big German Shepherd, but hopefully he won't. He looks friendly enough, and to be fair, he looks hotter than me, so I'm fairly sure he's not going to want to exert himself. Hiya, nice to see you.
You too, how are you?
Not too bad. I was just hoping I wasn't going to be this fella's lunch. See you there. So, because I live in a neighbouring village, you get to know quite a few people, which is always nice. People are very supportive. So it's a really nice community. It's really got a nice vibe to it, the run. This is also, when we turn, this is also part of the Fen Gallop route, which is the community 10k run in the neighbouring village Willingham, and that happens on the first Sunday in July. It's a 10k and a 4-mile route. This is part of the 10k route, a little bit of a Fen Gallop. So where we turned into this kind of past the cows, that's all part of the Fen Gallop route, and this is existing. This part that we're on here is part of the Fen Gallop route as well, and I'll show you where the Fen Gallop veers off to in just a second and how this differs. So we turn right at the end here, and then we're running back into the village of Over. But again, just bear in mind they're kind of agricultural roads, so they're not perfectly smooth tarmac roads, so you just need to be very mindful of trip hazards and stuff along the way. It's definitely not a trail shoe type event. These are road shoes that I'm wearing. Well, I'm barefoot style, but this is my road pair of barefoot style footwear, so I've not even bothered with trail shoes for this. It's pretty much road almost all of the way, a little bit of kind of pebbled, shingled area, but other than that, it's very, very runnable with road footwear. So as we come back into towards Over and back into kind of residential territory, key thing is that with this loop as well, obviously you're seeing it in daylight, obviously in night time, and it's dark, you need a head torch, by which time hopefully you'll be very familiar with the route. You've run it several times before you start trying to run it in the dark. In the nighttime loops it's very safe, but we normally suggest you pair up with another runner, just to, obviously it's nicer running with somebody in the dark, especially out into these dark countryside roads. You're fine in the village where you've got street lights, but in the outer areas it's safer to run in a bit of a group if possible, or at least a partnership. So that's something to consider. But with the ultra running community, anybody who's doing ultras, all very, very supportive. So really, really key to kind of tap into that supportive culture. So even if you're coming on your own, there will definitely be people who are prepared to do a lap with you. So this is where the Fen Gallop veers off down Furtherford back to Willingham. But for this overrunning festival lap, we carry on back into Over. So we're now approaching the halfway mark as we come through past this kind of 30-mile-an-hour sign straight ahead. You'll see we'll be back into the village of Over. We already are, because you can see residential houses either side of us. But as we come past this 30-mile-an-hour sign, it's about the halfway mark. And the second half of this loop is back through the village. A lot of flies. Nice little pond over there, lily pads, and that's nice to kind of see as you run past willow tree. It's very quite beautiful, kind of quaint little village. Nice houses and stuff to kind of run past, and people are pretty friendly. Hopefully these people will be too. Evening. So again, we're on back into a residential road now, so you suggest when there's no pavement you stay to the right hand side so oncoming traffic can see you clearly, and the pavement will commence again when we get back into the kind of main part of the village. Covered in midges. I'm breathing a bit heavier than I usually do because I'm approaching 30 kilometres now, which is a decent distance. This is the type of distance where if you're a marathon runner, when you get to 32 and you're 20 miles in, so now the pavement's here, so I'm back on the pavement. When you get to 32 kilometres, that's the kind of place where you know if you're going to get a good time or not, because if you're feeling fresh at the 20-mile marker, then you're on for a good performance. A lot of people hit the wall at 20 miles, so that's just an indication of how far I've run so far. I'm approaching 30 kilometres by the end of this lap, so I'm 28 kilometres now. So we're back into the village of Over now. The green is just over here. This is another crossing. This is probably the busiest crossing that you'll have. So you just need to be very mindful that we have on the 10k and 5k, we'll have marshals here to ensure people can cross safely. But on the ultra, there's a lot of runners. There's no one coming either way. It's just a nice easy cross. It's a pretty quiet village anyway. And that's one of the last main crossings you have to do. So straight up, down Long, I think this is Long Furlong. You stay on the pavement on the right hand side, and then we do another crossing a little bit later. Evening. dog that hopefully I can get past. He's getting lifted, so I should be all right. Just taking a moment to make sure my breathing's all right. Not gonna lie, I'm looking forward to a bit of dinner after this, which I'll be having when we finish this lap. So you passed the primary school. It's quite nice during the day if you're running on the Friday, especially when the school hours are finishing, the school time finishes. You pass, you see all the kids coming out, which is always quite nice, and they give you a fair bit of support. Just over a mile left to go now. So you have to cross the road again here in a minute. But again, this is a pretty quiet road, as you can see. So anywhere around here you can cross, because we're going to go down the road just here. Just obviously make sure you're clear, you cross the road. As we turn onto this street here, which is, when you cross this road, you're going to go on the right hand side again when it's safe. So over to the right hand side, and that's pretty much, I think there's maybe one or two more crossings we have to contend with, but again they're on generally quiet roads. So we're on the pavement now. And then we're going to turn onto Unwinds Lane, just up here. At the end of these 10Ks, I'm starting to feel it a little bit now. As I've been doing them in 10K stints, so I've been doing 2 laps and then having a couple of hours break with a bit of luck. This is Unwinds Lane. There's no pavement on this road, so very, very quiet little cut through road. We get very little traffic. So again, it's down the right hand side. Once you get to the end of this road, we're going to turn right, and you've got one long road, then you turn right, one fairly long road again, and then you're back at the community centre. So we've got about 1.3 kilometres to go. It's less than a mile now. So at the end of Unwind Lane, we're going to turn onto West Street. And we're going to stay on the right hand side of the road here. It's pavement all the way. See an arrow pointing right there. On hot days, it's the hydration which gets you. My legs are feeling fine, body feeling all right. It's just the hydration levels. I can feel my mouth being really dry, Looking forward to a nice drink and to replenish energy with some food when I get in. Fueling is so important in ultramarathons. Hydration is critical. Electrolytes and stuff, just keep salts in your body. Keep your kidneys functioning as they need to be. People are quite supportive, as you can see. So you can see it's quite a long road this, but once you get to the end you get a bit of downhill. It's a slight incline. It's pretty flat. There's very little kind of incline on the run. Very marginal bit on this road, and then you get a bit of downhill back to the finish line. It's still just very, very hot. Today the conditions are pretty tough. So I'm going to take a breather. I'll speak to you again when we get to the end of this road. It's nice when you get a bit of breeze. So when you approach the end of this road, the pavement runs out quite abruptly. So this is where you want to cross, and this is probably the busiest road that you need to contend with. So you have to cross because the pavement is only on the other side of the road, and then you cross again to get back to the community centre, and that's all of the crossings done. So I'll show you when we get here. When I say the busiest road, it's not a busy road by any stretch, but you just need to be mindful and aware. Again, when there's a lot of people, there'll be marshals here to prevent any disruption. So we cross here, as you can see there's a car, but safe to cross, pretty quiet. So I'm on the pavement now, and there's one more cross and then we're at the finish. A little bit of downhill here and a little bit of breeze, which is nice. So just past that car up there on the right hand side is where we turn in back to the community centre. I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to the end of this lap. Looking forward to a well-needed refuel. So any time here, we'll be looking to cross again because this is the last cross we have to make. So check, obviously make sure there's nothing coming, it's pretty quiet. You can cross to get on the right side of the road, and that's it for the crossings. Okay. So as we run in here, take a right back in, and the community centre's just up here on the right hand side. And the lap finishes where we started, so we go just past the community centre around the back where the people were having a drink and chilling out, and right the way through to the finish line. So hopefully we might get a bit of support, because I am starting to flag a little bit, although I have done 30, got 20 kilometres to go, but I have a bit of a break now before I go out again. So we're back into the community centre grounds now. Well, it is a car park, so you just have to be mindful of cars, but they'll all be very, very aware there's a running event going on. So there's children here still playing around. You're gonna run with me?
Ready, go!
They're quicker than me as we come in. You're too quick for me. And then we come back through to the finish line. There you go, you get a bit of support. Hi guys. They're too quick for me. And then through the finish line, and we are finished. Thanks guys for getting me through. Thank you very much.